Bar weep grana weep ninny bon.
Bar weep grana weep ninny bong.
Bar weep grana weep ninny bon.
Bar weep grana weep ninny bong. I want my lemonade.
Hello everyone, this is Hack the Dino Gaming Cast, where we bring you the past, present and future of Transformers from the 1986 movie, where Optimus Prime dies, and as a small child, I cried.
In like the first 10 minutes too.
Yeah, I know. Like that epic battle with Megatron.
Yep.
Even more epic.
Where Hot Rod screws up.
Yep.
You got the touch.
But you know, as a kid, I really loved Rodimus Prime. Like, loved him. I even had the Rodimus Prime figure.
Loser.
And I was talking to a friend of mine years ago, and he was trying to explain to me that no one liked Rodimus Prime, but I couldn't understand it because I did. He goes, "What do you think of John Cena?" At the time, John Cena was obviously number one person in the wrestling world.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, "Oh, you know." He goes, "You're forced to like him, aren't you?" It's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's Rodimus Prime." Like,
Why are you forced to like him?
I don't know. Well, just people.
I like John Cena.
Anyway,
Do you know who my favourite Transformer is?
Who?
Oh, I have two.
Yep.
Can you guess them?
Blur.
No.
And
I'll give you one more guess.
Grimlock.
Nah.
No, that.
My favourite two are Mirage and Hound.
Hound.
Yep.
Nice. Anyway, this is Hack the Dino Gaming Cast, where we talk about the past, present, and future of video games.
Or Transformers, apparently.
Yeah, whatever. You know, I am the 1998 Skill Tester Champion of the World, Ben Rosenthal, and I am joined, as always, by Floppy, the Enabler, Starrick.
I really wish I had my lemonade.
You do?
Yeah, I had a lemonade before I came on the show. I'm not 100% sure what I did with it, and Ben won't let me go back out to the car to get it.
Well, when it's 10 seconds before the show starts, and you go, "Oh, I got to go get my lemonade," it's like, no, you can get it after the 2-hour recording session.
I'm thirsty. I want my lemonade.
Anyway, back off his fresh presidential addressing is, is the Keymeister Zero flavor pounder Anto.
Keymeister 2.0, suspiciously not absent ex-president of the world.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, did you know that you were president of America?
Not until about 3 days ago, no.
Did you know that you're a flavor pounder?
You know what?
Apparently.
Didn't know he was president. Prob still did a better job than Trump.
Pounding that flavor.
Oh.
That's Anto. We're going to get that shirt for you. Flavor pounder.
Thanks, guys. Antova flavor pounder. Make sure it's like covered in flames and I have to dye my hair like Guy Fieri or something.
No, just
Who's that?
he's
Guy who takes people to Flavortown? I don't know.
he doesn't pound it though.
No, it's true.
Doesn't
I
pound
didn't
that
even. I'm so lost. I don't even know what.
Anyway, let's go and look on the run sheet.
Are we talking about naughty things?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Floppy, what are you been up to lately? What are you doing?
I'm
What are you-
playing some games, mate.
Playing some games?
Oh, okay. So you know what I've done? So I usually only play one game at a time, most of the time,
Yep.
which is Dead Space,
Yep.
which is terrifying, which is scary, which is next to the Resident Evil is one of the best remakes of an older game that I've played. They have done such a freaking heckin' amazing job with the lighting and the scary bits and the terrifying bits and the bits that make you poop your pants.
What about the bit where the needle goes into the eye?
Gross.
Is that cool in HD?
No. But yes way.
No,
but no,
yes
they've
way.
done such an amazing job in this. There was a part where I literally had to turn it off because the game required me to remove a fuse, which turned the lights out, and I was just like, nah, not right now.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, just all of the creepies.
All of them?
Yeah.
Even this-
If you do like survival horror stuff, though, this is so your jam, man. Like, they have done such a good job.
I don't understand. I recognise that figure, but this isn't Fortnite.
Oh, my. Oh, yeah, I saw that he's on Fortnite. Old mate Isaac Clarke's made it to Fortnite, hasn't he?
I'm just trying to flame those troll comments in the video below.
Ah, okay. Floppy went from Dead Space to Dad Space.
Yeah. So what? Good time? Bad
So,
time?
no, it's great time. Great time. And I was hoping to have finished it by now, but I started watching The Last of Us TV show.
Good. Don't talk about episode 4 yet. Not watched it.
I
Watched
won't.
up to episode
I
3.
won't. But what it's prompted me to do is actually play The Last of Us remake on PS5, and I've been playing it along with the episode.
Oh, nice.
So, I'll watch the episode and then play sort of up to the end of that. And just sort of give it, not really a comparison, but just more out of interest as to what they changed and what they did and why it worked and stuff.
Who's the lover in episode 3? I've forgotten his name. Frank.
Yeah.
Did you get up to telling him to hang in there?
Yes. Oh, I'm past that part now because I've watched episode 4.
Okay.
So I like what they. I really like seeing the backstory of Frank and Bill in the TV show.
I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, I thought it was great because in the game, obviously, you've got to gamify it. You can't just watch a backstory.
No.
So you find out a lot of that information through conversations and stuff. This game is phenomenal. That's like what you would call episode 2 of the TV show there.
Yeah, that's also where Neil Druckmann is as a dead body.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They've done such a good job with it. Like the game itself, I think is like a point in history that will be noted as amazing storytelling in games. And the TV show, I think, is doing the same thing. Yeah, so good. And yeah, it is one of those stories that I wouldn't.
Do you reckon in the TV show they're going to go into The Office, like for the US sitcom The Office, like they added in the PlayStation 1 remake?
Ah, that would be cool.
It would be pretty funny.
That would be cool. I don't know if I'd pick up on it because I don't watch The Office.
It's not bad.
Man, I really wish I had my lemonade.
Oh, well. What else you been doing?
I also checked out a new game that was announced at the Xbox Direct. Are we calling them Directs?
Oh, I completely forgot that happened. Sorry. There was
Yeah, I know, right? Because there was another one. Well, Hi-Fi Rush. The Hi-Fi Rush that got shadow dropped.
Yep.
I started playing this.
It's not a bad shadow drop. Certainly not the best shadow drop this year, but we'll get onto that a little bit later.
Well, this is the one that it's the coolest one I've played.
Yeah. Okay.
This thing was amazing, man. Like I thought it was going to be cool and niche, and I was just going to have a quick look, and I ended up playing it for like an hour.
Nice.
And I'll go back to it as well. So you play. I can never remember what your name is properly.
Do you know what the best part is?
What?
This is only like a 10, 15-hour game.
So like 20 for me.
Yeah.
Main character's name is Chai.
Chai, thank you. I keep forgetting it's like some kind of weird tea thing.
Chai tea.
And he has like an MP3 player in your chest, and you do all the
MP3
combat.
player?
Yeah, it's not an iPod. Like that's a brand. It's an MP3 player. It's a device. But yeah, you do all your combat to rhythm.
I would have preferred if he had a ghetto blaster in his chest and tape decks flew out of his
Got a
chest.
blaster in his pants.
And he had a panther tape called Ravage.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's Soundwave. I'm talking about Soundwave. I'm linking it back to Transformers at the start.
Yeah, good
Everyone?
job. Good job.
Because I've got the touch.
Oh, I've got a feeling.
I've got the power. Yeah. Anyway, what?
Yeah. I was just listening. Michael Towns in the chat has gone, it's a mini disc player. He's the kid from the Freestyler video clip.
I had a mini disc player.
A Discman. I had a Discman.
I had that as well.
But yeah, no, that's what I've been playing. They've been good times all year round. All year round?
Anto,
All week round.
Hello.
now that you're back from not being the president anymore, or at least you've installed a puppet dictator, what have you been doing with yourself?
Well, I don't have any video of what I've been doing. Not because it's, particularly suspicious or not safe for work or anything like
No,
that.
it's quite arousing. We watched it before.
I mean, I've been beating my sabers a lot.
Pounding them.
Yeah,
Flavor.
pounding them along
Getting
to
his sabers.
thumping, throbbing music.
Yep, just rhythmic. He's very rhythmic. I've seen him fling it around, and he slices those boxes hardcore. Like he's just poking them all, and they're all falling by the wayside because Anto's just using his big old saber to pound that flavor.
Hey, Ben. Stop talking for a minute.
But yeah,
Go,
so
Andrew.
as Ben has alluded to with various euphemisms, I bought a Meta Quest 2 something like 2 weeks ago, and I think I've put more time into that and playing Beat Saber and Resident Evil 4 VR than I have my PS5 or Switch or any other system that I have.
Wow.
Again, I don't have footage of me playing it or anything because it's very hard to capture footage from a VR headset for some reason.
And if someone
Ben
else
and
is
I found
capturing
out
it, you
earlier.
just look really weird.
Exactly.
Or awesome.
But yeah, I've
like
just been
me.
doing that, and I've also been playing Minish Cap the last 2 days because it got released on Switch, which is great.
Minish Cap. Is it released yet, or is it coming?
So was
Yeah,
that
it came out a few
Game
days
Boy
ago.
or Game Boy Advance?
Game Boy Advance.
That one right there.
Yeah, that one there that for some reason goes for like $500.
Don't touch it.
He thinks I don't know how to touch things. I
Yeah,
can tell you there's probably
just
people in
been
the chat
stuck
that
in
know
VR,
how I know how
playing
to touch
Zelda.
things.
and I'm going to segue into Ben.
Good. We didn't catch that last bit because Floppy was talking over you, but that's okay.
so good.
I'm sure it was very important.
Important? Me?
So yeah, I got sent a code by Indie XP. It's a company out here, a little Adelaide development team by the name of Melonhead Games, have released their game Rooftop Renegade on consoles now. It's been out on Steam for a while. So I played some of that. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What are you smirking at, Smirky boy?
Smirky. I'm just smirking it. Really want a lemonade.
This thing.
Yeah, Rooftop Renegade. So it's a platformer that focuses on speed and flow. Sort of, if you imagine Tron for the podcast listeners, as a 2D platformer, and you've got some hoverblades, and you're just skating around.
That actually looks cool.
And as you're skating around, the popo, the bad guys, the fuzz, they try and capture you by coming into the front of the screen and just firing objects at you and changing the flow of sort of like the travelators and whatnot to give you extra speed boosts in order to slow you down so you can't get a higher score, because the higher scores you get, the more levels you get. And once you get to a higher level, that's when you unlock other levels. So it's not there is a progression, but it's a progression based on how you're playing, how often you're playing the game, and whether you're leveling it up. You play as an unnamed character. I think I couldn't find this character's name. Using hoverblades to jump across skyscrapers of a futuristic city. It's a precision platformer, reminding me somewhat of the original Sonic game in that there's many paths that you can take, and they focus on speed. Although it doesn't have that same super speed feeling that Sonic has.
It looks pretty cool. It looks like, I feel like it would be, for me personally, I could probably control that a lot more and feel a lot more in control than I can with Sonic.
Yeah, well, this one, it's pretty much you're just jumping when you need a jump.
Yeah.
At least I didn't finish it.
Did that look like Batmite?
Yeah, it did a bit. So here's the police chasing them down now. As far as I could tell, in the single player mode, there wasn't much of a story. It's basically just get to the end of the level. It can be in single player mode. It can be a little bit repetitious. I don't think there's a great deal of, at least the amount I played. Again, I didn't finish it, so I could be completely wrong. But yeah, it does get repetition in single player. However, in multiplayer mode, I can actually see this being really, really fun as a party game. Because not only do you you can take control of the main character with the hoverblades trying to get to the end. Other players take control of the police or the authorities trying to shoot them or destroy or throw obstacles in the way to try and slow you down so you don't get that high score, so you can't progress. So I can see it actually being a real fun party game. Overall, it looks great.
I really like the style and the visuals, man.
It's very Tron-esque, isn't it?
I get Tron, I get a bit of Flashback, I get a bit of Mirror's Edge.
Do you know what I get?
What?
Cracks in reality when Anto's green screen sort of just flies over a little bit and we can see behind the illusion.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
You see Ben's game room.
Don't dox me. Anyway, yeah, fun game. So it's out now on Switch, on PlayStation. A bunch of Adelaide guys. You should all visit their Twitter and their Facebook page and say, hey guys, you're good. We saw you on Hack the Dino. You should give them high fives.
You basically just answered the question I was going to ask, like what platforms is it on, etc. So.
Yeah, I think it's been out on Steam for a while. I've seen this at Avcon for a while. We actually interviewed the guys at Avcon a few years ago, like twice in a row. And then when the opportunity came to actually play this final Switch version, I mean, can you imagine being an Adelaide game dev and then being told your game's going to be on the Switch?
That's pretty unreal.
It's pretty great.
It's almost like being an Adelaide host of a game show and getting told you're getting your own Game Boy game.
Yeah, almost as good as that.
Almost.
So we've got... so far in the past couple of years, we've had Right by Pond Games, Dan Freer. We've had, obviously, this one.
Team Cherry?
Yeah, Team Cherry making Silk Song.
Team Cherry came on the show.
Follow-up to some Hollow Knight game. I'm not too sure about that. I guess Ken Wong is now technically an Adelaide person. He did Monument Valley and Florence. Whole heap of talent over here in pokey little Adelaide. I'm forgetting someone. I feel horrible. But what did you develop besides a fear of loneliness?
Impeccable hair.
That's true. Loneliness and hair. That's how you. That's floppy.
If you got one, the other one doesn't matter.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I think it's a really fun game for jumping in for like 15, 20 minutes, which is my jam exactly.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Like a game where you can jump in, boom, 15, 20 minutes. All right, yep, next. It has that very Fortnite type feeling to it. Not that it plays like Fortnite.
Just like one more time sort of thing?
Yeah. Oh, I can beat that. Oh, yeah, I can get to the next level.
I picked up a game yesterday.
Oh, really? What
yeah.
game?
Rad Rogers.
Rad Rogers. You know, I actually kickstarted this game when it first came out.
I learned that about 47 seconds ago.
It's actually really cool. It's very Commander Keen type game,
which I like.
which is why I...
And the original, like, Duke Nukem.
Yes. Yep. Platformer. A lot of fun. So that robot thing that's on his backpack, that's actually a video game system.
That's
there you
even
go.
cooler.
Yep. And he swears. He's a sweary video game
Does he
system.
swear in it?
Yeah. Well, I think they explained it.
Oh, maybe if I'd read the sign on there that said coarse language.
Oh, there you go. He's a sweary video game system.
I like this even more.
All right, shall we talk about the giant elephant in the room? That big old flappy-eared nose mammal?
It's not a very nice way to talk about me.
Well, you don't have big ears.
What's
You've got
Yeah.
quite petite ears, actually.
I don't know about petite, but
what's the
I
giant
think
elephant in the room? Is it the
they're
fact
Loki.
that nobody's going to E3?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's that. All right, so it happened 2 weeks ago, so it is old news, but I did want to touch on it because we have been talking about E3 for a couple of years now, wondering what's going on.
We were wondering if it was coming back for 3 years.
So Sony hasn't gone for a couple of while. Microsoft purchased the theater across the road from where E3 is held and is holding their own event there, which is sort of like the real big stab in the back, I
Because
think.
they were the only ones that were still there.
They were the only ones supporting them.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo reportedly skipping due to not having enough games to show in the second
Because they've
half.
just
of the
thrown them
year.
all, shown them all this week.
Well, yeah, but also remember what one of us was saying about them not having a lot of games to show on the Switch for the second half of this year?
No.
Because my theory is they're getting ready to announce the console for next year.
I doubt it.
Oh, really?
Highly.
Yep. So 7 years. Go 8. Go 8 years.
They don't need to. They still sell on the Switch gangbusters.
Well, there's another story about that as well coming up. But the Switch hardware is very old.
Oh, I know.
Very old. Games do chug. I'm actually really interested to see how Tears of the Kingdom runs on
Do you know what? though? Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Yep.
beautiful, like, hardworking game, runs perfectly.
Yeah. Do you
So
know?
I don't think it's a Switch problem,
Do you know Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
which is
Good.
not
Good.
a
I'm glad you've heard of it. So moving on.
developer problem there, not console problem.
No, it's very much. ReadPop is, of course, partnered with the ESA to revamp E3. So the ESA, which has people from Sony and
Yeah.
Microsoft and Nintendo in it, asked ReadPop to make it more of a convention. Because basically when they threw open the doors to E3, it was pretty much, oh yeah, you guys can come. And then that was it. Like there was no fan interaction. Basically, you paid $300 for a ticket or whatever it was. You went there and you got to stand in lines for 2 hours to play 10 minutes of a demo. Like, it wasn't a good time. I'm convinced that if E3 goes ahead, if it goes ahead, this is it. It's definitely it as we know it traditionally. The time has gone where that sort of thing is relevant because of the
Yeah.
way the digital market is now.
Look, we all know everything every day with the internet anyway.
Yeah.
E3 never really tells us that much stuff that we don't know already.
Well,
Or hasn't been leaked or hasn't been rumoured or...
and everything's like directs now.
Yeah.
Everything's
in bite-sized chunks.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is
I
easier to
hate to
take
point
on.
this out and interrupt, but I think we may have dropped the internet.
Yeah, we have. That's all right. We'll keep going, and people can catch it over at hackthedino.com, where you can get the VODs of all the fantastic things that we like to do and play. So, Anto, what do you think about E3?
As a general concept, or this year?
Or just do you think it's going ahead?
I don't think it'll go ahead. Like
No?
as it exists, as we know it, as like a video game trailer announcement show, absolutely not. I think partly because of COVID, like COVID still is in places, a very good reason not to do giant gatherings of people, but it's also a convenient sort of scapegoat to really put the final nail in the coffin of something like this, because Nintendo have shown that they don't really need to have a presence there to show anything off, and they've been doing this for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing directs since 2013. So I don't think anyone else is going to bother because they don't need to.
Yeah.
Were you surprised
With what?
with the outcome of this? With these announcements of people not going to...
I was. It actually,
Oh,
like,
really?
I thought for sure Nintendo would turn up. Just because...
Really? They're the ones that haven't been there for the longest, though.
I know, but, like, they have, like... All right, so they've had digital directs there every
Yeah.
time around that year. But they still had a booth there. Like, they still had a presence on the show floor. But the fact that they've just gone, no, we're going to save that money. Like, because it's hard economic times, obviously. It's hard. You have to save money where you can. But yeah, for Nintendo to pull up and for Sony, sorry, not Sony, Sony were gone a while ago. But for Microsoft to also just like go, no, sorry, we'll do our own thing across the street in the theater we own because it's not going to cost us as much money. Yeah, I think E3 will have no choice but to become like a PAX, and that's the only way they're going to survive. Like, they just have to go on brand name alone.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
And I think the Game Awards is going to become that destination point each year where people will look to announce things. I think this whole June, July period is pretty much done now. It's the world's changing.
The world's changing. They're not afraid to delay games. They're not afraid to put them out at different times. They don't need to have the same old routine.
Yeah. All right, let's move along to Switch sales. The sales of the Switch. We recently had a whole heap of financials released as of December 31st, which is where these go up to. As of December 31st, there has been 122.55 million Switch units sold. Switch has outsold the Game Boy and the PlayStation 4, and they stand at 118.69 million units and 117.2 million units, respectively. So it's past that PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy.
The PS2 is at, what, 150 something million?
I think so, yes. And that's at number 1, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, PS2 is the biggest selling home system of all time.
Right. Yeah, I still don't think it'll get there. Like, there's no way that they can sell another... Oh... Can they sell another 25 million?
Well, I think
consoles?
they can.
Hey,
You reckon?
back.
I think they can if they don't bring out a new console. If at the very least they only do an upgrade of the existing Switch. Because I think they'll do it because they've never slowed down.
I just don't think they can do it. They tried to do an upgrade with the Wii U. Like,
I would argue the Wii U wasn't an upgrade. It was like...
Well, they tried to iterate. They tried to use the name and tried to iterate and make it.
Yeah, but that was a different console. That was a completely different console. So the sales from the Wii U do not count towards Wii sales.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas the sales to the Switch and the OLED Switch count towards each other.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think they're going to have another console.
Do they want that title? Do they want the highest selling console of all time?
It's Nintendo, man. Of course they do.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon they're that focused on being the number one selling console?
I reckon it's going to be that easy for them.
I mean,
it's not going to be hard.
Where does the DS sit in terms of console sales?
Well, handheld, that's up there. I reckon that's the best.
It's below Game Boy.
Okay.
So it's already past DS a while ago. But the fact that it's now past PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy, and when you say Game Boy, you're talking about Game Boy Color, Game Boy Light, Game Boy Micro, everything under the Game Boy name is included in that. Just like the Switch, they're including Switch OLED, Switch, so people like me.
Switch Lite.
I've bought 4 Switches in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been through... Well, I've not been through, but I've purchased, over the time it's been out, 5 of them.
Right.
So...
Yeah, see? Like, that's where they're...
Oh, and
it's us.
We're back. Thank you. Sorry about that. Slight technical difficulties.
Some software sales. So, officially, the Switch is now the 3rd highest selling console of all time, which is pretty cool. Sales, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has sold, this is as of December 31st, remember, 25.6 million.
That is unreal.
They had sold 20 million over the first week or something.
For such a broken game, that is
Pokemon.
Unreal.
Can you imagine if this game wasn't broken?
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous.
Like, I mean, they say it's broken. It's playable. I finished it. It's glitchy. I've had it crash on me maybe twice, but it's still... I still go in there and still play have a really fun time. Even though I've finished it and done all the extracurricular post-game stuff, it's still fun to go in there and go shiny hunting. I caught 2 shinies the other day, like one after the other. A Gibble and a Fluttermane. You don't know what a Fluttermane is, and I'm not going to spoil it.
I have no idea.
But, Anto, what do you think of Pokemon?
I haven't played Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either waiting for a big update that fixes a lot of the sort of main issues with frame rate and other bits and pieces. Because it's fair to say that thanks to the PlayStation 5, I've been a little bit spoiled as far as visual fidelity is concerned.
What? No.
Because, Floppy will disagree with me because we've had this conversation on the show before. I like playing things either at a solid 30 FPS if it's like, Switch or older generation hardware, or if I can push a game to a steady, consistent 60 frames, I will absolutely do it, because for my tastes and stuff, 60 frames for gameplay reasons is preferable. If you're going to be playing something like Horizon and you want to see it in all its visual glory, by all means, play it at 30 in cinematic mode. But like, if we get a Metal Gear Rising 2 that runs at 60 FPS and requires like all the inputs and stuff for the difficulty that game will have, absolutely would not play it at anything less than 60. So yeah, for me, it's more a case of graphical fidelity is now like my preference. If I can get a solid frame rate over visuals, I'll take it.
See, whereas, I mean, different gamers look for different things. I like just having fun. If the game's fun, I'll play it.
I'm the same too, but like I've always with Antu on. I've been, I guess you could say we've been spoiled with fidelity when it comes to the PS5 and things like that. And I want my stuff to look pretty. Like we have difference of opinion on the 60 or 30 frame. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? If there's an option there, everyone can play it at whatever they want.
Yeah.
I don't have that issue with the games that I play on the Switch, because the games that I play on the Switch don't need that.
No,
because they're not trying to be that. They're trying to do something else.
Yeah.
And I play them for different reasons.
So yeah, in 6 weeks, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold 25.6 million copies. Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a launch title and very well known and was Game of the Year in 2018, has sold 29 million units. Wow. So in 6 weeks, Pokemon sold almost 26 million. And Zelda in its lifetime, Breath of the Wild in its lifetime, sold 29. And of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 52 million units.
Jesus.
That is almost, we're looking at getting close to a third. A third of every Switch sold comes with a copy of Mario Kart Deluxe.
Here's another thing I was talking about yesterday. While we don't think we'll get a new console, we haven't had a Mario Kart for Switch yet.
No, that's why they did the new courses.
Yeah, but
the
we
DLC.
Still haven't had one for the Switch.
And we probably won't.
I reckon we
will.
will.
We have had one for the Switch in Mario Kart Live.
Mario Kart. You mean the mobile game?
No. Mario Kart Live,
the one that has the little
actual
Mario camera.
Doesn't count.
I mean, it counts, but I think it's a very poor little. It's like a. It's half a tick.
Yeah, it's half a point. Half a point at the end of year.
Yeah.
We
haven't had a proper Mario Brothers 2D platformer.
That's correct. Well, that was one of my picks for the thing, is that surely they have to have a Mario game coming out to tie in with the movie.
They'll have one at the end of the year. Surely they have to.
Well, when's the movie out? April?
What if we get a video game movie tie-in Mario platformer that's actually really good?
I think that's what we're looking at.
That'd be amazing.
I reckon we're going to get a 2D. I honestly believe that that's what will happen. I was expecting it to be announced during the Nintendo Direct, but it wasn't. But you know what was announced during the Nintendo Direct?
Lots of things.
So I just want to start by saying I think this was the best Nintendo Direct they've done. I honestly thought it was from start to finish. Yet there was some lulls. Like Nintendo Directs always go like this. Start off high, lull, some games that you may or might not care about. Midsection, oh my God, that's cool. Lull, gearing up for the big bam in your face finish. And they hit that formula brilliantly.
I think this has definitely had some of the biggest highs of Nintendo Directs. But I think there was way too much filler.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't care so much about all the DLC.
But they sort of skipped over a lot of the filler.
But they didn't. They put a lot of time into the DLCs and stuff like that. I'm like, they're cool. But I don't say it was a bad Direct. I think it was a really good Direct. I just don't think it's the best.
I think the DLC time was needed because they are very popular games. And this is a new thing for Nintendo. Like, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Pokemon's Sword and Shield were the first ones to try out DLC.
Yeah.
And it did exceptionally well. So then they released the Zelda DLC or announced the Zelda DLC and the add-ons there.
Did Sword and Shield come out before Smash Bros?
Good point.
What was
Brothers. No, you could be right there. I could be completely wrong.
Sword and Shield came out at the start of the year after Smash Brothers, right?
So they were like January 2019. Smash would have been December 2018.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But anyway, I think it's necessary to focus on DLC now because, it's another cash cow for them. Some of these DLCs
I totally agree.
Like,
but it went for too long on the DLCs, is what I was saying. Like, it could have been 10 minutes shorter.
All in
all,
I
who
kind
cares?
of agree
It
with
was a good
both of
deal.
you to a certain degree. Like, I think some of the stuff they focused on, like DLC for Fire Emblem, which came out like a week ago, was pointless.
It came out a week. Well, not a week ago, but it was not.
I think the start of the Direct was quite slow. Like, I don't care about Pikmin 4, especially because Olimar isn't in it.
Do you know what people... Like, they're raving about Pikmin 4. I was watching it going, it doesn't look very good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It looks the same as the last
weird.
Pikmin, but without Olimar.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, like, it went from sort of a steady to a, whoa, holy crap, Metroid, oh my god, Zelda, and, like, then all the Game Boy stuff, that was where I was like, okay, I've got to turn my Switch on for the first time in 6 months. So,
All right, let's look at some of the highlights. Main takeaways from it. Obviously, we haven't gone into everything, but obviously the big one coming from it was the Tears of the Kingdom announcement and release. And
Collector's Edition.
Yeah, so first of all, this trailer, I was talking to a friend of mine, Harry, and he was saying that he wasn't impressed with how it looks. And I said, are you crazy? This looks amazing. Like, this looks like Breath of the Wild, but Majora masked. Like,
Majora's
on the bridge
darker.
there, that fiery three-headed monster,
Yeah.
that's from the original Zelda.
Oh, okay.
And that bridge is actually named, I forget its name
So we
now.
got the Blood Moon still?
Well, the Blood Moon plays a central part. The Blood Moon, like, upgrades all the bokoblins and everything.
Have we got new bad guys, or is it just going to be bokoblins again?
No one knows.
I can't point to it, but the
Re-Dead?
thing that appears here in this bit of the trailer,
Yep.
I'm convinced, as is Twitter, that we're going to get enemies based on ones from the Hyrule Warriors spin-off for Breath of the Wild,
Yep.
which are malice infused, so they're super strong.
Yep.
I think we're going to get something like that, and that's going to be great.
But yeah, a lot of so we do have bokoblins and everything, but they've been beefed up. They've got
Okay.
bigger armor on. Link's arm looks mutated. Like this end scene here where
So
we have...
remember, I haven't finished Breath of the Wild yet, which I'm going to have to do now because I actually want to play this.
Yeah, so you see Link's arms there. He's got some gloves on.
Yeah.
But in the very last scene where he's reaching out for Zelda, his arm looks absolutely thrashed. And my pick, without knowing anything about this game, is that Link is going to die. This Link. Because it's a different Link in almost every other game. Every game has a different Link. There's Link driving a car.
That buggy thing looks... Oh, look at the flying thing. Yep, I want to be in
Well, see, that's the other thing. It's almost like that they saw all the stuff that that people were doing, the speedrunners were doing in Breath of the Wild, like making flying machines and making cars. And going, yeah, all right, we can do that.
Townsy in the chat has said he'll become Ganondorf.
No, he
won't
won't.
happen.
But here you go. So there's the malice going for
twist.
it. Look at Link's arms as he reaches out for Zelda. So he's there reaching. You can let it play, Anto.
There we go.
There we are. So he reaches out,
Yep.
and you look at Link's arms, and they
goes
are
black.
muntied. No, we'll come back. There you go. See how his right arm is all like shriveled? Like
I
with
did not
fire?
see a thing.
Yeah.
I did not have my glasses and I would just look like Link.
I honestly think that, this could be a swan song for this Link.
Do you think he's going to get a tiny little hand and he's going to put it in the mashed potatoes?
Anyway, they also announced, as Floppy alluded to, a collector's edition and an amiibo. And
Did everyone order it?
I did. After a frantic call from... I know when Floppy's ringing, it's one of two things. Hey, man, I can't make the show. Or, hey, man, you need to pre-order this.
Yes.
Everything else is a text message. When Floppy calls, I know I have to pick up.
Yeah.
And the thing was, I was in a meeting at the time, a work meeting.
I called him twice.
and the fact that it was twice, it was like, okay, this is big news.
Really, I'm kind of disappointed you waited till the end of the meeting.
It was, hey man, have you? And I said, Floppy, I haven't watched the direct yet. I don't know what's going on. And he just went, yeah, okay, this is too important. There's a collector's edition. You need to get online now, and you need to pre-order it. Okay, yep.
And amiibo.
Yep, and I did. I got both of them.
Yep.
So thank you, Floppy.
You're welcome.
I secured my collector's copy to go against my Breath of the Wild collector's copy.
Anto, did you pre-order these things?
I did. I'm fortunate enough that
Unfortunately.
No, I said
By
I'm
accident.
fortunate enough
Okay.
that my lovely girlfriend works in video game retail.
Ooh.
So as soon as she got home, we hopped onto
Connections.
the internet and pre-ordered everything.
I wonder if they've sold out. I know in some states they've actually sold out in Australia. The allocation has been used up. Be interesting to see if it's still available now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do pre-sell out of this really quickly.
I reckon it was still available this morning, which is almost unheard of when it comes to collector's editions of a popular game at the moment because they're usually gone in an hour.
Yeah, right.
But this is not like one of the big statue ones. That's, I think you got your art book in it, you got your pins, you got your poster, and I feel like it's one they're going to make more of.
I'm glad it's not a statue one, because the Master Sword statue that came with the Breath of the Wild Collector's Edition, my one of those melted.
Wow.
What did you do to it?
Nothing. It was in a games room in a shelf away from the sun, and I came home on like one of the 42 or 43 degree days we had back in 2017, and it had literally just gone. "Ear."
Man.
So I was
It's
like,
how weird how that magnifying glass you kept next to it and pointed out the window.
But yeah.
Anyway, I'm very excited. I cannot wait for May 12th. May 12th.
May.
Mate.
Friday, May 12th.
Yes.
Do we have a
Looking
show
out
on
for it.
May 12th?
Probably not that one.
The show will be me playing Zelda.
It'll just be Ben streaming Zelda,
I mean, people would watch it, man.
and only from the waist up.
Then, of course, the other big announcement, I think, was Metroid Prime Remastered, and it was shadow dropped.
Yeah,
Like,
that is
what
sick.
the hell,
That is awesome.
Nintendo? Just coming out here going, yep, there you are. So I was really excited about this, but I'm currently playing this game on my GameCube. So I kind of don't want to get it.
See, after I played GoldenEye, this
Yeah.
makes me want to get it because like I know how good the GoldenEye game that's out now plays the way I remember it. So this would be cool.
What do you mean, remember? You played it a couple of weeks ago. Before
Yeah, and
came
it was
out.
trash.
Yeah, only because you were
But
losing.
no, it just looks trash and everything. So playing the new one, it looks and everything plays the way that my nostalgic memory tricks me into thinking it used to be.
Right.
And I'm assuming this one will do the same for a lot of people, most likely Anto.
It is a really good game.
So I've
Really-
never played the original.
Really?
I've got it, but I haven't actually gone back and played
It's an exceptionally well-made game. Came from that... it feels very Ocarina of Time, if I can draw a comparison. Ocarina of Time in space. Sure, that'll work. Anto,
Ocarina
what do you think?
I love Metroid Prime. It's my favorite of the three. I think while it does look nice, I don't think it looks not nice enough.
Not $70 nice?
Yeah, it's not going to be
Is it
full
$70?
retail release.
It's a full price game.
Um,
Well, $60 on the e-store. I
In
imagine.
it.
saying that-
That's a bit odd.
I will buy the physical version when it comes out later in the year.
Yeah, I will buy the
I think it's
physical
like
version.
later this month even.
I will probably do the same. It's the 22nd of February.
That's the one.
Townsy
I
in
will
the chat
buy
has said
the
60
physicals.
digital and retail.
Oh, that's not too bad. I wouldn't pay 70 for it, but I will pay 60. And the
Yeah.
reason for that is because I love Metroid Prime, and if people don't give Nintendo money for Metroid stuff, we're not going to get more Metroid stuff.
There is that.
It
yeah.
doesn't. It historically hasn't sold well enough for Nintendo to care until Dread, and even then, Dread didn't sell as well as a lot of other Nintendo IP.
But it did above expectations, Dread, didn't it?
So
It
good.
did, but it's still important to buy more Metroid stuff, which
I
is
still
why
haven't
I'm
played
going to
it.
support it mainly.
I own it. It's in
This
that-
guy has not
it's
played
right-
it yet.
It's right there. Metroid Dread
Like
is right there.
I've finished it, and
Yeah.
Ben hasn't played it.
I need, especially because there's a baby mode. I would totally
There is a
play it.
baby mode. It's dad mode, man.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta go
But
into
yeah,
that.
like visually, it compared to the original on GameCube, it does look nicer, but it's absolutely not. You know, it's not Last of Us remake or 7 remake style remastering kind of thing.
Anto, are you going to play it with original controls or with the updated
hell
dual? Hey,
Hell yeah.
you're playing with original controls?
Yeah, I've tried to play the Wii version, which emulates dual stick controls with the motion controls, and I really don't like it.
Motion controls a bit shit though.
I never use motion controls.
Yeah, but motion controls are my favorite way to play Resident Evil 4. Like the Wii version's my favorite one. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I think the original has such a, and this is purely nostalgia talking, but the original Metroid Prime control scheme is so perfect for what the game needs you to do that I don't think dual stick aiming is necessary.
You know what? I'm going to play it with dual stick aiming first, having no prior thing, and then I'll play it with the original. I will see what see what our opinions are like. I'll be curious.
I will try it, but I will probably not play it for more than 10 minutes with that control style.
All right. So next big announcement: Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are being added to the Nintendo Switch Online. So if you just pay the $30 a year or whatever it is, you get access to Game Boy games. which include Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark for some reason, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land. Then if you have the expansion Plus, you get Super Mario Advance 4, which is Mario Bros. 3, WarioWare Inc., Kuru Kuru Kurin, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario & Luigi, Super Saga, The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, which is a very, very sought after book. Yeah, so when I was watching all these announcements, I was sitting there going, oh, yes, cool, awesome. I've got that. I've got that. I've got that. Oh, I've just got them. And these games are coming out. Yeah, I've got them too. But still, if anything, fingers crossed it won't, but it'll drive down the retro market sales of these games. Floppy.
Yes.
We were discussing this yesterday.
Yeah, we were.
You think this is pointless?
No, that's not true. I don't think it's pointless.
You hate everything about this, isn't that right?
Sure.
In fact, you wish Nintendo were dead, I think you were saying.
Why not? Go for it. But you tell the story seeing as though you made it up this far.
No,
So we had a conversation because I got really, really excited with the PlayStation announcements of like the PS1, PS2, PSP stuff. As did a number of other people that I know. And then the funny thing happened, same as with Game Pass and all of the backwards compatible stuff on the Xbox, is that everyone who screams and we all want it, and then we get it, and then we use it for 5 minutes, and then we never touch it again.
You go, oh, this isn't as good as I remember.
Well, what's the point? Like you just play the new stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great, and I think it was always going to happen, and it needed to happen. And I think there are some people, yourself, Anto, and Townsy, and that's the only 3 people, who are going to lose their minds and play heaps of it. Actually, Ben's not going to play heaps of it. You're going to play heaps of it for a week.
I've got
and then I know, and then you're not going to touch it again.
I've already finished Mario Land 2.
How much of the Nintendo 64 things have you played on your Switch?
Not a lot, truth be told. But the Super Nintendo and the NES, I've played heaps. Have not touched the Sega stuff.
And I'm not saying at all that it's a bad idea. I think it's an excellent idea, and I think it should be on there because I'm assuming that the cost involved for them to do it is very minimal.
Yeah. Oh, look,
But I don't think it's the amazing and thing that everyone's sort of gotten excited about because I don't think anyone will care in a month.
I'm excited because it means people will get to play these games, and some of these games are fantastic. Super Mario Land 2...
That was just a nose-picking game.
Yeah, it's WarioWare. That's the first time you get the micro games for WarioWare. As I was saying, Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, is one of the best Mario games ever made. Like, seriously, one of the best. Mario Super Circuit is one of the best Mario Kart games ever made. Yeah. There are a lot of absolute gems, and like Mario Kart's online play now. Like,
I do want to play them. I do want to play the Mario Kart that was on here.
But for me, being a collector of retro games, I would much rather go into my games room, sit down and actually play it on the original hardware on my CRT, or have like part of the nostalgia for me that I love experiencing is holding that system in my hands. But on the other hand, I understand a lot of people who were kids, like for example, my sisters don't have any of their original systems because I stole them all.
Yes.
So this is an opportunity for them to go back and play the games that they played as kids without me going, no, you can't have that. You'll break it.
My point of view is pretty much aimed at the majority of the Switch owners who I don't think are collectors from and played these games from back when. I think majority of Switch owners now are families who will play the new Mario Kart and Mario Odyssey and those, and we'll look at those and be like, oh, that's kind of cute. I'll show my kids where gaming came from, and they'll be like, oh, I can't play that. It looks terrible. And
that's what
it'll never get done again.
Parker cannot play the original Super Mario Kart because it hurts her eyes. The graphics are so bad. Like I can
hurts
sometimes
her soul more like it.
I sometimes got her to play Mario Kart 64, but that's about it.
So I think this definitely needs to happen, and I think it's awesome that it's on there, but I don't think it's going to get used much.
For those of you who may not have been aware, I went into my games room with Anto while we were getting the set design ready.
Yeah.
And just got him to list off all the games that are either coming out or have come out, and I just grabbed them. Went, yep, that one, that one, that one.
Even look at them actually because I got here late.
Yeah. So
really need my lemonade.
Anto, what do you think?
I said it earlier in the show. I think when we were having internet trouble, it was this part of a direct, like when the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff was announced, that I was like, flip yeah. Because like a lot of this stuff, as Ben alluded to a minute ago, is very expensive, and this may drive down some prices, hopefully.
Well, let's just very quickly, I'll just point at the games and give you rough prices for what I know. Like,
let me take a guess, and then you tell me the actual.
All right, Mario Super Circuit.
7,000.
Sorry?
150.
About 100.
Okay.
Advance Wars.
100.
150.
Damn it.
Fire Emblem,
400.
150.
close to 2.
Oh, okay.
Metroid 2,
70.
no, it's over 100.
What?
Mario Land 2,
70.
no, close to 100.
Damn it.
Mario Luigi,
Mario and Luigi, 250.
about 80.
What? Why?
Because it's Luigi. It's the Luigi Curse. F-Zero.
Yeah, 40.
Funnily enough, I only had this box and manual, and then I bought the cart off floppy the other week.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's about 80.
Oh, okay.
Mario 3.
Expensive because it's Mario.
And it's the best Mario game, right? Isn't that not highly regarded as the best of the Super
Correct,
Mario
and it
games?
also has additional levels that comes with the game card. So when this came out, you got game cards that you scanned
You
in
haven't
with
got a
the
case on it.
e-reader. Because I ran out of cases. So I need to get that there. WarioWare.
120.
Yeah, about that. Kirby's Dream Land.
90.
200.
What?
Now we get into the big boys. Oracle of Ages, Oracle of the other one.
400 each.
Sorry?
400 each.
Yeah, about that. Link's Awakening DX,
150 to 200.
about 3.
Damn it.
Minish Cap.
700.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
$600 to $700 for this game.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. Don't touch it, Floppy. Anyway, moving on. Pikmin 4... Floppy, I will end you. Pikmin 4 release date. Kicked off the show, which I think was a good choice. It gave that spark.
Gave that low we needed.
Yeah. New creatures to assist the player on their journey, as well as a new day-night cycle, which I thought was cool because isn't the whole gimmick of Pikmin is you have to be done before the night?
Yeah, I always thought that Pikmin
That's
were
what words I live by.
So,
Anyway, that's coming out the 21st of July.
Was it just me that thought this didn't look as good as number 3?
Correct. I thought the same thing. But I've never been... Pikmin isn't for me. I just don't think... I've played the GameCube one, and then that's it. I really don't need to play anymore.
I loved Pikmin 1 and 2, but I fell off of it after that.
I've only played 3.
Next thing I have here to talk about is the Dead Cells Castlevania. This looks
Nobody cares.
Amazing. I care.
I'm joking because Anto cares.
Oh, does he? Anto, do you want to take this one?
I mean, I don't know anything about Dead Cells because I've not played it, but I'm
Roguelike.
excited for the Castlevania stuff.
Yeah, Castlevania roguelike.
And that's kind of all I need to know. Like, I'll play and buy Dead Cells for this DLC.
Yeah.
So,
Dead Cells you can get real cheap now as well, and there's heaps of other DLC. It's a real fun game.
okay. I mean, it doesn't look good. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but...
But I put a little
Yeah.
note there on the run sheet that's specific just for you.
Oh, is there?
I read that and got really confused for a minute, and I'll tell you why after you hear Anto's.
So I've put here, there's over 50 tracks from Castlevania included.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh, music!
Yeah.
The thing Floppy doesn't hear when he plays video games.
So do you know what I thought when I read that? Because I read that and it's well documented that I don't notice music in video games. I read that and I'm like, I don't remember Castlevania being a racer. And then I went like, oh, it'll be music because it's
Honestly,
for Anto.
though, I would play Castlevania Kart.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Make
Like
a Mario Kart
chain
clone with
that
like
you can whip
crosses
everyone
and
with.
holy water. I'd be so down. Townsy, get on it.
Next one was for me. Sea of Stars has a release date. So Sea of Stars is by the guys who did The Messenger. Do you remember The Messenger?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, so
I played Messenger.
Same development team there. It was kickstarted a couple of years back. Very Chrono Trigger-esque, which is why I decided to back it at the start. It's got the composer for Chrono Trigger doing the music. He's a special guest composer. This game, everything about it looks absolutely brilliant and lovely and wonderful, and I cannot wait for it to come out. It is, however... No, I said that in a bad way. I take that back. Hey, guess what? There's a demo available.
Oh,
I'm not going to play the demo
okay.
because I've already paid for the game because it was on the Kickstarter and I don't want it spoiled. Like even that, like we just saw the characters going down a stream twirling. That exact thing happens in Chrono Trigger. When you go
Always
down,
twirling.
You're twirling. Anyway, this game, amazing. Can't wait to play it.
When's the demo out?
It's out now.
And when's the game out?
The game is out on August 29.
I will play this demo and give you some at some point, and I'll give you some thoughts.
Yeah, cool. You've played Chrono Trigger though, haven't you?
Nope.
You own it.
I know.
And you've not played it.
Yeah. You know all those games that you've owned, like Metroid Dread,
Yeah.
that you haven't played?
Yeah, but I play good games.
Like Fortnite.
Fortnite is a good game. We played Fortnite.
Rooftop Renegade.
We streamed Fortnite the other week.
We did. That was pretty fun.
It was.
Yeah, it was Ben and I and friend of the show V.
And
And
we logged on, and I'm on level 35. Floppy's on level 56. V's like 115. I was like,
no,
what?
I wasn't on 50. I was on like 4 because I was on the Hack the Dino account.
Oh, that's right.
It wasn't even on my account. We won one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the night you guys did this, I woke up to a few missed calls from Floppy, and he was like, the next day, yeah, we were going to play Fortnite. I was like, cool. I got home from like a day out and just passed out in bed, shoes on and everything. It was hilarious.
We just lost a lot.
Kirby Return to Dreamland DX announced the Mogalore mode trailer, which is basically a new mode was shown in which you'll play as Magalore as he tries to regain his powers across 20 stages. It's accessible after finishing the story, and you'll have the choice in how to build your Magalore too. The game is still on track for release later this month, and a demo is out now. That's pretty cool. Announcing the post-game stuff.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That's pretty cool. I've got this on the pre-order. I would like to play this. This looks cool. Like Return to Dreamland in general.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, sorry, the light thing really threw me. We've lost a couple of light globes above us. It is what it is.
And other things of note, we got a new Professor Layton game was announced.
We skipped Advance Wars.
Oh, yeah, I did skip. Advance Wars, we got a date for that. So
April 21st.
anyone who's picked that in their Fantasy Critic is pretty happy about that.
Probably going to do all right.
Yeah, I'm probably really happy about that.
Yes.
Yes, I picked it twice.
Yes.
And if you'd like to follow our Fantasy Critic, head on over to hackthedino.com. Click on the button, you can see who's winning. It's not me at the moment. I'm second again in both of them. God damn it.
Where am I at the moment? I thought I was second in one.
I think you're winning
Or am
the
I-
host,
I think I'm winning the host.
and then you're third or fourth.
Yeah, something like that.
In the Patreon one. Anyway, other notables, Splatoon DLC, Fire Emblem DLC, Xenoblade 3 DLC, Mario Kart DLC.
All the DLC.
A lot of DLC. But I, overall, give this Direct a 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was great. I honestly thought this was one of the best Directs ever. It was one of those ones, yeah, there were lulls, but you need to have lulls, so those highs are like, holy crap.
I'd give it a solid 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen more. I've seen better paced directs from them, but this one had like the really cool Tears of Kingdom stuff in it,
Yeah.
which boosted up.
And they shadow dropped a Metroid game.
Yeah, like that was pretty unreal. Those two things alone are amazing.
And Anto, what would you say about this Direct?
I mean, call us a broken record, but I would probably also give it an 8.
Such a broken record.
Mostly because of, again, Metroid, the Game Boy stuff, Tears of Kingdom. I think overall, though, the standout Direct for me since they've been doing them is the original Direct where they showed off the Switch for the first time.
That wasn't the original Direct, was it?
No, not the original Direct, but that's the one where they showed off the Switch, like, in its form as we know it today, for the first time ever, and we're like, hey, here's the release date.
But that's because no one knew what it was.
Yeah,
and then
so good.
They somehow came up with this concept of being a handheld system and a home system.
Yeah.
Like, that was...
When you think about it, just breaking tradition and turning into that is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's mind
What a
blowing.
massive jump.
And especially considering Nintendo had the handheld market nailed.
Yeah.
and the
decades.
Home, yeah, and they nailed it with the Wii and the GameCube as well, like the home market.
Well, GameCube sold horribly.
But
Nintendo 64 sold horribly.
sorry, Nintendo really?
Yeah.
Yeah, terribly.
Yep, terribly. That's why they're so expensive now, because there's not many around.
All right, so they nailed it with the Wii.
They did. That was lightning in a bottle. And the Switch obviously is
as well.
made. I think I read somewhere they can have 3 complete failed systems in a row and still be profitable from
Yeah,
now on.
they've still got money in the bank, and they could screw up every generation moving forward for like the next 25
Which means
years.
hopefully a company that innovates a lot, they will continue to innovate.
Yeah, because innovation is the risk of screwing up as well.
But we've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast. We bring you the past, present, and future of video games. But this isn't all we do.
No.
This is the time where people usually turn off, but I implore you not to, because I'm going to tell you a secret at the end. That's right. Hang around. Floppy.
Yes, mate.
What do you do when you're not here?
I jump over onto the Instagrams at a little page called Floppy Blaze Games, and I post pictures with captions of things that I've picked up, things that I am playing, or things that I've enjoyed. So that was there is my Dead Space copy that I got with my actually nice looking steelbook. I really like them, even though I don't really like steelbooks. But yeah, and the one before that was some pickups that I'd made where I got my Code Veronica, which is one of the last few Resident Evil games I need. One day I'll see if I can get the original one, not the platinum one. And Manhunt on the PS2, which is a somewhat controversial game.
Why?
because it does things in it that got it banned here for quite some time.
Yeah, but it's Australia. Like,
Did it get lifted, or is it still banned? And am I in a lot of trouble now?
I don't believe Manhunt got released domestically here, which is
No.
why you've got the UK rating
Yeah.
on the case. I think it was Manhunt 2 that almost got released, but then got banned again after the rating system changed.
Good old Australia.
But yeah. Yeah, there's some of the cool things that I've picked up lately. Was there one before that I hadn't had on the last show? Oh, no, it's my Bioshock 2 Collector's Edition we talked about. So
We did. Anto,
Hello.
what do you do?
Well, in true me tradition, I haven't posted anything on this Instagram page for a while, except for a little video of me playing Blitzball on Final Fantasy X. I would play the audio, but I'm not going to because it's stupid. But if you are interested in me doing stupid audio comedy skits while playing a fantasy football game in a Final Fantasy game, that's a heck of a word.
Yeah,
Something.
it's one of the best sentences.
Yeah. Yeah. Go check it out. I do have a whole bunch of stuff, however. I've had lots of pickups in Final Fantasy stuff that I've accumulated since like November last year. I picked up a collector's edition of Final Fantasy 15 that was still in its box unsealed.
Post them.
I'm gonna when I'm not feeling lazy and depressed. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I just haven't gotten around to putting up there yet, like all of my Toy Fair stuff, like the statues I got last October. I've just been feeling lazy and blue and stupid, so I'll get around to it. Just please don't unfollow, because I only have like 32 of you.
Jesus.
Shut up, Ben.
So, all right, we'll go to Mr. Benjamin first, which is my personal account.
Bam.
And this is where I put all the things that I find out. So, I found this for $4 on my recent video game hunt. So, when I go out looking for retro challenge stuff, I do also hunt for myself, of course. This was $4, and I got it just for the Green Goblin, because I collect Green Goblin things. But then I brought it home and put out all
What
these
are they?
villains. They're all Spider-Man villains.
Yeah,
and
but
they've
like,
all-
what are they?
I don't know. They're miniatures. They're about, I think,
Are
you
they
know,
blind bags?
I don't know, but they were in a bag and it was $4. And I got them out and I went, these are really cool. I couldn't find out where they were from, but they were all these classic villains from like the first year or two.
Who's in between Sandman and Vulture at the back?
To the left,
There's in between Sandman and Vulture.
in between Sandman and Vulture.
This guy here.
Yeah, that's Hydro Man.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're all based on Steve Ditko's design. So Lizard has like the stunted.
Townsy in the chat has stay cool, Batman, said the Green Goblin in Spider-Man 3.
I will not be teased like that. Anyway, that's really cool. And next one, I found an $80 GameCube game for $25.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool as well. It was originally 30, and I just said to the lady, "Oh, you got any wiggle room?" She goes, "Oh, 25." I'm like, "Yep, cool. It's worth 80. I would have paid the 30, but you got to ask these questions." And then next, what do we have next? I can't recall. Oh yeah, just a random $5
Dead Heat
game.
Scramble.
Dead Heat Scramble. I haven't even played it. Probably won't. But it's a Game Boy game.
Heat
I think it's a
Scramble.
US only release as well. So just go to the full screen. I'll see if there's anything else that I can talk about. Oh, my animation cell. There we go. I found that the other day. I bought from Savers. I
Green
found
Mario.
a $3
Best Mario.
a $3 frame. So I thought I'll bring that home and try and frame something. Then I was going through my poster book and remembered I have an original animation cell from the Mario Brothers cartoon.
That's pretty cool.
So I thought,
Mario, we gotta go catch the princess.
yeah, sweet. So I put that in there. It looks really good. Pretty happy with that. But I also do stuff over at Bad Game Arts, where I find the worst art of the late 90s and early 2000s to appear on video games magazines and covers. And boy, oh boy, is there some bad game arts. Now, it's Bad Game Arts with an S, if in case you're searching for it, because, yeah, reasons. So first one is Clash at Demon Head. The person in the top right-hand corner doesn't have legs. So, progressive.
What?
There's no legs on that sphere person. They just forgot to put them in there.
Yeah, right.
Rambo, really rocking that Saiyan Vegeta
Oh,
gear.
that is Rambo.
Rocking Vegeta's vest from Dragon Ball Z.
What is he shooting?
I don't know, but look at the dragon next to him. It's just sort of like, hey man, what's going on?
That dragon looks like it's been superimposed from a different picture, looking at something else.
Yeah, great depth perception.
Not one thing with eyes there is looking at the same focal point as anything else with eyes there.
Yeah, you're right.
Next Bad Game Arts. What do we got? Oh yeah, Run the Gauntlet. This is or if Thanos was rad as hell. Can you imagine Thanos like
Why
with
is
the
there
gauntlet?
an Infinity Gauntlet?
Well, you know, for the times when Thanos goes water skiing or go-kart driving, or jumping through flames in a quad bike.
I'm pretty sure Ocean. I've just had a memory flashback of I think it was Ocean that made License to Kill, the James Bond game, and I don't know why that particular picture is just. Oh, it's because the fire down the bottom. License to Kill had the truck, the tanker truck that was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are some very similar shots going on here.
Yeah, it just pinged a memory.
All right, and the next game we can look at is
Whoa.
from Dylan the Villain sent me this one. There's an orgy about to go down here.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
all
sure.
are about to touch each other inappropriately.
Yeah.
The painter, the pig, the big old gorilla,
The cannibal?
and the racist stereotype. We're all about to get it on.
And that Donkey Kong-esque type creature is about to do some stuff that's gonna destroy those other ones.
But the racial stereotype's totally up for it. Look at the look on his face. They're
He
giving each
really
other
is.
eyes. They're like, yeah, man, let's get that donkey
Is
dong
that
out.
pig
Let's
inflatable?
go.
I think it is.
Townsy just said, I don't remember this Toy Story sequel. Is this Kingdom Hearts?
Is this cute?
Next, what do we got? I'll put up a couple today. Oh yeah, Son of the Lion King.
Oh, he is high as fuck.
I said exactly the same thing.
Look at that. His eye. I'm pretty sure I've got photos of me that looks like that.
Look at that stupid little crown on its head.
I found this in Cash Converters Prospect 3 weeks ago.
Oh really?
Did you buy it?
I did not buy it because I refuse to spend that money on shovelware like this.
Do you know what? I'm pretty sure I've got this.
Well, do you have this next one?
Whoa, that's some nightmare fuel.
Man.
I reckon I've seen this cover somewhere before, but can't quite place it. I'll have to get Disney's lawyers to remind me. For those of you listening to the podcast, it's Pinocchio, but done in horrible 90s CGI.
Yeah, it looks really
from a
scary.
rip-off Russian game.
As Townsy in the chat says, Pinocchio, no.
And I think that might be it for all bad game arts this week. Just click one more over. See. Oh, yeah, we had that last week. I don't know what was going on here, but that tomato is extremely sexualized for some reason.
It's just Princess Peach with the tomato face.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Why am I hungry all of a sudden?
For some
I don't know.
peach
I
or some
expect you to
tomato.
be thirsty as well.
Yeah, no, fuck, I need a lemonade.
But we've been Hack the Dino. We'd like to thank our Patreons who support us in many wonderful ways. Floppy,
Yes, mate?
would you like to thank them?
I'd love to. I wish I had a list.
Oh, I've got a list.
All right.
Ash Knight, Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple ND, Michael Towns, and Game Boy Dad. Thank you.
Game Boy Dad.
And if you want to have your name scrolling along the bottom of the screen, head on over to hackthedino.com where you can not only sign up for our Patreon at $2 a month, but also follow us on Instagram and TikTok and all the other things. You can leave a review on the podcast link. That helps us grow and people find us. So please leave 5-star review if you think we're worth 5 stars. If you don't, well, don't do that then, because that would be like sad times.
Yeah.
But until next time, just
But-
remember this little secret. I promised them a secret.
Yes, you did.
Here's the secret.
What is it?
I love you.
Pardon?
I love you.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Me?
No, you are my friend, good friend Yu Chan.
Whoa!